Hey, are you ready to double your bookings and build a wedding photography brand that speaks for itself? Well, in this episode, I'm going to share with you all the things that I am doing in 2025 to scale my business. Think about strategies, mindset shifts, and a new service that I'm offering that is helping me scale my business to the next level. All right, so stick around. In this episode, you're going to learn different strategies that you can apply so that you can also build and scale your wedding photography business. Let's go. All right, let's start with the new service. Yes, I am offering a new service in my business, and this is all about content creation on a wedding day. Think about your own social media manager on your wedding day that is there to document, create behind the scenes videos, and create different reels or TikToks or Instagram stories for your wedding. Yes, this is what I'm offering right now. I called it the Aruba Wedding Stories because I'm specifically targeting Aruba. And basically what it is, I am going to be there at your wedding, my client's wedding, and I am going to be creating content on my phone. Yes, on my iPhone. And I will create behind the scenes. I will create stories. I will create reels. I will create different footages that my client will receive within 24 hours. Yes, you heard that right. Within 24 hours, I will be delivering all the footages. So what I really like about this is that there are different benefits for the client, but also for me. Number one, what I have seen is that this is a trend. And I have to say that I got inspired by another wedding content creator that actually flew into Aruba and was there at a wedding that I photographed. And I'm like, this is interesting. So I was talking with this guy and he told me, Steven, I started this business just about a year ago and I already documented 30 weddings. And I'm like, what? And you can see this on social media as well. On Instagram and on TikTok, I see a lot of wedding content creators out there creating content. What I like about this, number one, is a trend. But number two, basically, they are hiring me to create content on their wedding day that I can also use. So that is free marketing for myself. Well, not free. They are paying me to create my own marketing material. So I looked back and in 2024, I already did this, but I did it for myself. So how does this actually look like? Every wedding that I go with an assistant. And I always gave my assistant my phone. And I let my assistant record behind the scenes of me and also of the couple on details of different things with my phone so that later on I can promote my services on stories or on reels. I was already doing it. And I noticed that a lot of my couples were telling me, hey, can we also get the footages that you put on your Instagram stories? Can we also get the reels that you created? And then I'm like, oh, so there is demand for this. So fast forward to October 2024, I went to a wedding and there was a content creator that they flew in to document this wedding. I'm like, oh, this is actually happening. And I'm like, okay, no, I'm going to do this as well. I already love doing it. I already love creating content. I love being on social media. I love creating content for weddings. So I'm like, if I can offer this as a service and they're paying me for this and I'm getting marketing materials as well, heck yes, I'm going to do it. So it's a trend. It's something that helps me create marketing materials for myself. But what I also like is that when sharing this type of content on stories or on reels, I can tag the couple. On reels, I can collaborate with the couple, meaning, I don't know if you've seen when you scroll on social media, on an Instagram feed, and sometimes you see two different accounts shared one post. This is what we call collaboration. So for example, I can collaborate with the couple and the content will appear on my profile, but also on my couple's profile. What does this really mean thinking about it as a wedding photographer, as a business owner? Hey, I'm putting my business in front of people that have no idea who I am, and they see me get hired by their family or friends because they're following them, and I get more brand awareness. But not only that, the friends and families that were present at the wedding are also following the couple. They will definitely come to my own profile and consume my content, or even follow me and hire me. So I think this is an incredible opportunity, not only for me to scale my business revenue-wise, but also scale my brand awareness, how many people I reach. And if I can reach people that are attending a wedding, for most part, these people have friends or family that are also going to get married. And if I can do a tremendous job at the wedding, guess who they are going to hire? All right. So this is something that I am doing. I've started after October. So at the point of this recording, it hasn't been even, I believe, 3 months since I started this new service, and I'm already getting booked. And not only that, I'm going all in with how I'm promoting it on social media, but also on my website, on my blog. And this leads me to my second point, my second way that I will scale my wedding photography business in 2025 and beyond is by focusing on SEO and blogging. SEO is something crucial for wedding photographer. We cannot deny that. All right. So most people don't focus on SEO. And the reason why they don't do that, and I believe this is a big, big, big mistake. If you are a wedding photographer and you're not doubling down on SEO on your website, you are making a big mistake. And the reason why most people make this mistake is because with SEO and blogging, you don't get immediate results. And in comparison to, for example, Instagram, when you upload a photo, within minutes, you already start getting likes. Within hours, you're getting hundreds of, if not thousands of views, but not on your website or blog. This takes time. However, there's a big difference between these two different marketing strategies. Social media is more like the short term. SEO and blog is more of the long term. I kid you not. I believe it was last year, or I believe it was in 2023. So over a year ago, I wrote a blog on my website about different wedding venues. This blog has been one of my most visited blog posts to this date. Every single day, every single week, every single month, there are people on my blog reading this blog post. And it's really SEO rich and is really targeting the type of people that I want to photograph their wedding. And this blog post, I wrote it once and I uploaded it once, right? And it's consistently giving me new leads, more traffic, and more sales. In comparison with Instagram, a post that I uploaded over a year ago, it isn't doing anything. It's not doing anything for my business. It's just there. So now you might be asking yourself, okay, Steven, but there's a lot to do on Instagram. There's a lot to do on my website. My website is not even done yet. I don't know what to write on my blog, blah, 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 blah. All of that. I understand that. We all go through that. And this is why in module number 6 of the high and click, I focus on SEO and blogging. How can you make sure your website is ranking on top of Google? How can you make sure your website is ranking in page number 1 on Google? This is what we focus on in module number 6. In module number 5 of the high and click, we focus on social media and content creation. I believe you need both. and they both work really well together. So if you're interested in learning more about the high-end click, this is my signature program for wedding photographers. I will definitely invite you to look for the link in the description below, and you can get more information on the website. But the most important thing here is that you need both. You need the long-term content, SEO and blogging, and you need also the short-term, which is social media, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, for example, or YouTube Shorts or Pinterest, right? They all work together and you need both. Now, I'm going to give you a strategy that I apply. And this is something that I teach in the high-end click too. And this is how I like to do it. When I approach a wedding, I'm always creating content for social media. But at the same time, I'm also blogging about a wedding on my website. So the video content that I created for social media, I will use it to promote the blog. But I will also take the reels and embed it in the blog post. So the blog post is also rich in SEO and backlinks. And if I'm speaking like different language to you right now, you definitely are a good fit for the high-end click because you need this. So when I approach a wedding, I'm doing stories. I'm doing Instagram reels. I'm creating trends. I'm doing behind the scenes. I'm focusing on video content for social media. And when at a later point I upload the blog post on my website, I use the same content to promote that blog post and send traffic to my website. All right? So this is why I believe you can do both. Most wedding photographers make the mistake of only focusing on Instagram or on Facebook. And after a while, so the wedding has passed. After a while, that content that you posted maybe doesn't do anything anymore. In comparison to my blog and my website, this is always getting me more traffic on my website. In the past, I gave myself the challenge to blog every single week. At the beginning, it worked, but at a certain point, I let it drop. I didn't blog every single week. And I'm not here to tell you, you need to blog every single week because sometimes you can't. And I understand that. But what I don't do is I don't beat myself up because of not blogging every single week. I do my best to blog as much as possible because it is important to be consistent, but I don't beat myself up. If I didn't blog for like 2 weeks and now I'm posting another blog, hey, it's okay. Nothing is gonna really happen in those 2 weeks. But I do believe that if your last blog was like 2 years ago, well, maybe you should need to rethink that strategy. Okay. So I try to post on social media 5 to 7 times per week. Yes, almost every day. But for the most part, I'm posting 5 times per week, Monday to Friday. All right. So that is how often I'm posting when it comes to blogging and my social media content. All right. Now, here's a mindset shift. I see a lot of photographers complain about, oh my God, there's so much to do. And you're right. There's so much to do. And there's a lot of things that you can do. However, I don't want you to look at SEO and social media as a task that you check out of your to-do list. I don't want you to look at it that way. I want you to look at SEO and content creation like an investment that you are putting in your business that will, in the future or perhaps immediately, give you ROI, return on investment. So I want you to switch that mindset. This is not a task. This is an investment. This is an opportunity for me to grow my business in 2025 and beyond. All right, the third way that I am going to be using to scale my business is by doubling down on my personal brand. Just recently, I was at a party and someone told me that he has been recommending me to his clients because his son recommended me to his dad. And the son has nothing to do with even getting engaged or weddings yet, but he follows me on Instagram and he saw my work and he sees how I promote myself and my personal brand and all of that. And he's been recommending me to his dad. When I did a research, this dad is the owner of a jewelry business who are buying engagement rings at a jeweler. Well, my future clients. So I was like, oh my goodness, you don't know who's watching. And I believe as a wedding photographer, your personal brand is the most important and the most powerful asset that you have as a wedding photographer. Think about it. There are thousands of other photographers out there doing the same thing that we're all doing. Essentially, we are all documenting weddings, right? Some of us edit differently. Some of us have different personalities. Some of us have different services or website or things like that. Some of them offer drone, other offers wedding albums, other don't do any of that. That doesn't matter, right? What really matters is the person behind that camera. Who are you? What are your values? What's your personality like? What type of client do you want to work with? All of this is part of your personal brand. In fact, I am doing this for my coaching services too. I'm showing you who I am. You're watching this video for over 10 minutes by this point already, and we're creating a connection. If we can create a connection and you are a wedding photographer that is looking for help to build your wedding photography business, it's just about time it's a matter of time of how long it's going to take you to say, I trust this guy. Let me invest in his services. Same thing with wedding photography. I will put myself out there. I will create behind the scenes. I will create reels and TikToks and all the content because it's free to create. I don't have to pay to post. This is going to help me build my brand online, which create connection with engaged couples. And if we are a match, boom, this is going to help me make more sales. And we see it every time. There are people that are standing in line for hours to go and watch Beyonce perform. There's someone just like me that pays thousands of euros to go watch Adele in Munich. There's only one Adele. There's only one Beyonce. And guess what? There's only one you. And that is your biggest superpower. Your clients doesn't care about what camera you use, what lens you're using. Are you editing with Lightroom or not? Are you using Photoshop or not? They don't care about these things. They care more about who's the person that is going to be responsible for their wedding photos. And as photographers, we are creating family heirlooms. We are there at one of the most important days of someone's life. Connection and trust is super important. And what is going to help you build that trust online on a scalable level is your personal brand. So in 2025 and beyond, I am going to double down on my personal brand. How do I plan to build my personal brand in 2025? Number one, by creating consistent content on social media. Right now, vertical videos are killing it on social media. You see it on Reels, you see it on TikTok, you see it on YouTube Shorts. Video is the future. So I'm going to double down on that. Number two, I'm going to be focusing a lot on being the person on the stage. What do I mean by that? So think about you going to a theater. As an audience, you only see the people on the stage, right? Behind the stage, there's a lot of more things happening. There are the people that are focusing on the makeup. There are people that are doing the outfits. There are the light man, the one that opens and closes the curtain. You get the point, right? There are a lot of people that are doing the behind the scenes work. if I want to double down on my personal brand, I need to be the person, as much as possible, be the person that is on the stage, that you can see my face, you can hear my voice, we can create a connection. AKA, me doing this podcast is me being on the stage, is me putting myself out there, is me sharing my face, my personality, my values, my mission, all of that is me being on the stage. You might argue, sure, Steven, I also want to be the person on the stage. However, there are thousands of other things that I need to do in my business. I get it. Accountancy, you need to do the website, you need to do edit, you need to deliver albums, you need to design albums, you need to blah, 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 blah. There's a lot of things that we need to do in our wedding photography business. I get it. But you don't need to do everything. You don't need to do everything. You can outsource, you can hire people, you can ask for help. The goal is for you to focus on being on the stage. And the rest, the things that has nothing to do with being on the stage, you outsource them. So being on social media, creating stories is you being on the stage. You getting published in magazines and websites and blogs is you being on the stage. You creating reels and going live and going on podcasts is you being on the stage. I will focus most of my time on being on the stage, and the rest, you outsource it. All right? So that's point number 2. Point number 3, I am going to be focusing on networking with people in the wedding industry. The wedding industry is all about who you know, that knows people, that knows people, that knows people. And the more people you can network with, the better you are equipped in the wedding industry. So think about wedding venues, think about wedding planners, think about florists, makeup artists, think about people that decorate weddings. All of these different people in the wedding industry are important for you to build connections with, because they are going to be the people that are going to recommend you. They're going to talk with potential clients that they can send your way. So this is something that I'm also going to be focusing on when it comes to building my personal brand. All right. So I want to make sure that you know that all of these topics are topics that we focus on in the High and Click. The High and Click is my signature program for wedding photographers that are ready to scale to 6 figures. So if you are a wedding photographer and you want to take your wedding photography to the next level, you want to work full-time as a wedding photographer, you want to travel the world and you want to document those luxury weddings, and you want to be your own boss and do this because you love it, not only because of the money, because you love it, I believe the High and Click is the right fit for you. All right, let's recap. Here are the 3 ways that I am planning on scaling my wedding photography in 2025. Number 1, I launched a new service, content creation service. So this gives me an opportunity that if they already have a wedding photographer, but they still want a content creator on the wedding day, hey, I can still make money there. But also, they can hire me only as a wedding content creator as well. Number 2, I'm going to double down on SEO and blogging. SEO and blogging is super important for wedding photographer, and it has to be combined with social media strategy as well. And number 3, increase my brand awareness. I give you 3 different ways that I am going to be increasing my brand awareness so that I can also scale my business in 2025. All right? So I want to give you a small homework that I believe that you can do this within 24 hours. But I'm going to be humble. I'm going to be a good person. I'll give you a week. So what I want you to do is, if you don't have a blog on your website yet, I would definitely start it. And it's super easy to start. So it shouldn't be that complicated. But I want you to write a blog post on your website. And I want you to write something that is unique to your style. Maybe it's a recent wedding that you shot. Maybe it is an educational blog post where you give tips to engage couples, or maybe it's a style shoot that you shot in the past and you want to share it because you haven't shared it already online. So I want you to do this. This will immediately start adding SEO value to your website, and it's going to help you rank higher on Google. Now, of course, there are different things that you need to apply in the blog post, but for that, I'm going to invite you to join the High and Click and get more information there. But I would definitely encourage you to start creating a blog post right now that is specific to your business. And especially if this is something that is really specific to the person that you want to attract. All right? So, are you going to do it? If you are going to do it, I want you to message me on Instagram at Steven de Cuba and let me know that you are going to be writing a blog post on your website. All right? Simple blog post. It could be educational. It could be inspirational. It could just be you sharing a little bit more about your style. Make sure you do it. Bonus points for 24 hours or in 7 days. All right? Do we have a deal? I will see you in my DMs. You let me know that you're doing it, and I'm going to hold you accountable. All right? That was it for today. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next episode. Ciao, ciao.